Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are live for another Content Corner. Thank you very much for joining me. My name's Andy Hooper from Global E-Commerce Experts, and we're here to successfully expand e-commerce brands into Europe. So if you're an e-commerce seller who's currently selling somewhere in the world, then we're the ones that are going to help you to bring that brand into Europe. So what are we talking about today? So really straightforward. We're going to be continuing our conversation around about expansion pathways, the expansion journey, and so on. So if you are a e-commerce seller who's looking to expand their brand, then this is for you. And today we're going to be talking specifically about product compliance, label compliance of products. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we get into that, sometimes when I do these, I'm doing these in another room because it's just too bright. Well, the good news is that today is not so bright. That's bad news, I guess, for some. But I thought I'm actually in my office at the moment, and you can see this is why sometimes it's just a bit too bright, because we've got these amazing floor-to-ceiling windows, which on the face of it are absolutely awesome. But when the sun shines, they're no use whatsoever. So we've currently ordered blinds and some things to go across it to stop the sun coming through as much. And this is my corner of the warehouse and office space that we've got here. And I think actually what we should do on one of these actually is we should do some of these in the warehouse so you can see what's going on live behind you, because I think that's actually really, really important. Anyway, I've jibbered and jabbered on for a moment there, haven't I? So I apologize. So let's just crack on, shall we? So today what we're going to be talking about is the expansion pathway. We've covered that first piece of market research. We've looked at in-depth pieces about feasibility studies and product sourcing, what that looks like for you, because quite honestly, everyone's going to be slightly different with this. And we've the idea of these content corners is to give you a couple of minute snippets, 10-minute takeaways, bam, 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 bam. That's what I need to be doing and where I need to be going. So that's what we're really going to be focused on. But today we're moving on from market research and talking about compliance. And the reason we're talking about compliance is because that's the next step in the pathway. Once you've done your research and you're right, excellent, I know my product's going to sell. The next thing to move on to is the compliance. How do I get my business and my product compliant with the regulations in that country that I want to sell my product? So the first thing we're going to talk about today is product compliance. And I think there's a few things to discuss in here because product and label compliance come hand in hand. Now, wherever you're selling in the world, there are different legal requirements, standards that you're going to have to adhere to in order to sell your product, whether you're in the States, in Europe, in Australia, India, wherever. Every single one of those is going to have different requirements. And there's two sides to that. One, is your product that you're selling, the widget you're selling, actually compliant? You know, does it have the relevant testing on it to make sure that it can be sold? Secondly, does the product box have the right information in it? Is the label compliant with those regulations as well? Because they're the two areas you need to consider. So let's touch base on the first thing and let's talk about products. I've just picked up a calculator from my desk. I have no affiliation with this company, this brand, or anything like this. This is merely for demonstration purposes only. So if we take this product, this is an electronic, it's a calculator. I'll hide the name. Really, really simple, really straightforward. And it's a calculator in order, it's straightforward. Everyone gets a calculator, yeah? So what does this product need to be compliant? Well, one of the first things, and I'm going to apologize because on the back of here, you can see somewhere along here, what's called a CE marking. Now, that might be back to front. And if it is, I do apologize. Because a CE marking is a standard in Europe to say that that product is an electronic product, typically, and it's certified as safe. So if you're selling an electric product on the market, it needs to be safe. That's the first thing. So what testing or marks and certification does it need? Who does it need to be registered with? You know, depending on whether you're an electrical product, a food, a supplement, a cosmetic, a medical device, a general standard product, health and safety, a high vis. Yeah, there's so many different things. all of them have their own standards they need to encompass. So the first thing to do is to make sure you've done the market research. I can sell it. Next step, what do I need to do to get the product so that it's compliant with the regulations? So that's the next thing. So once the product is compliant and you know you've got to have a CE marking on this product, it's got a stamp on it. It says where it's been made, and it says what battery's on it, for example, for this one. The next thing is the box. What does the box need to say on it in order for someone in the UK to be able to pick that up and know exactly what that is and for it to be safe? And that's the next step. So two different pieces there. Is the product compliant? Is the label compliant? Okay, so they're the two things you need to be considering when you're doing this. Now, there are a whole load of different things in compliance that we're going to touch on over the coming days, weeks. Yeah, we've got VAT, we've got addresses, and we've even got the new EPR. I mean, hallelujah, something else. And then we got trademarks. All of those things we are going to be covering, but we're going to be covering those in separate pieces. Now, we've done a huge amount of content on product and label compliance. Now, if you want that information, we've got that available in podcast, on webinars, and YouTube videos. You know, it's probably on the Facebook or LinkedIn as well. So go grab that information. But really, the key thing that you need to be thinking about is my product compliant? What do I need? If it is compliant, what do I need to do to get my label compliant? Because I can guarantee that if you're selling out of region, you're bringing in your label, whatever you've got on it, won't be compliant with the regulations. So you're going to have to make some changes. Now, that's absolutely fine. You can make those changes. It can be relatively straightforward and relatively easy. But the key part about all of this is what do you need to do to make that happen? Now, with all of these expansion pathway, there's three ways you can do this. You can do this by consuming all of the content that we're giving you here today. Write all the notes, go to our podcast, go to our webinar, go find all the information out. Please go and do that. If you want some additional support and help with that, we're here to help make that happen. You can talk to one of our success managers who can give you some general tips and advice on a phone call and support you with your expansion. Disclaimer, are they probably going to suggest that we do that for you? Damn right they are, because we're here to serve you to make sure you do this quickly and effectively. We'd love to support you. If you want more information about how we can do that, then give us a shout. But overall, what you're looking for is making sure the next step is all about compliance. And it's all about making sure your product and label is compliant. Get in contact if we can help you any further. My name's Andy from Global E-commerce Experts, here to successfully expand e-commerce sellers and brands into Europe. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll look forward to welcoming you on the next Content Corner, which will be coming really, really soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.